Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is set for one episode. Your host from Columbus, Ohio, is Michael Kirk. Welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast. Hello and welcome to the Outlaw Mudcast, your digital audio dirt sheet for all things Super Show. On this special episode of the Outlaw Mudcast, I am joined by a man who has many accolades. Most recently, he is one of the newest members of the SRG Universe Hall of Fame. From King Show Wrestling, KSW, I present to you the man many of you may know as Sir Chester the Jester, Phillip Armistead. Phillip, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, for a lot of new people coming in, they might not be aware of the legendary and the infamous KSW. How did the KSW get started?
Oh man. Well, for me, I was 1 year late to the Three Kings, King Pink, King Cold, and King Greatness. Went to Super Show. Went to Gen Con, I believe it was 2015. Found the game there and fell in love. They went there to play Raw Deal. Didn't like how the new rules were going. Did a demo with Steve Risk himself, I believe, and fell in love. They brought it back, showed me, and I guess it's all history after that.
So that's how you first came into the game. The Three Kings brought it back to the hometown of Russellville, Kentucky.
Oh yeah,
And
me and King Pink were actually roommates at the time.
Okay.
And he went with them, came back, showed me the game. I loved it, played it. I wasn't actually as far in love with it. I actually went to Gen Con the next year with them to play in the tag teams, but my main purpose was Pokemon. I lost in that and then played in the tags with King Pink. We made top 8 and I fell in love.
You've had a lot of success at Gen Con. I believe, was it you and Mike Riot that formed
Yeah, 2017 Tornado Tag Champions, yeah.
That's right, the joint Tornado Tag Champions.
Yeah, we co-champions, actually, if you ask us. But I ended up winning the match officially, I guess, if you look back. But that is when I had a little defecture to New Zealand to join the Kiwis for a minute with the titles.
And then you've been a fixture in KSW. I know at one point you were the general manager. What was it like running the KSW as general manager?
I probably enjoyed it more than anybody else. All the other people wasn't a big fan. I couldn't really bring in the big matches. I believe I tried to get Queen Elizabeth to fight Greatness at one point, and Bigfoot versus King Cold, if I'm not mistaken. But obviously that didn't work out.
No, you did get
a lot of jokes.
You did get general manager John Clace to come down there.
Oh yeah. A couple times had John Polverino too play for my team during a slap bet tournament.
That's right. I remember the. How did the slap bet tournament come around? How'd that come about? It's been a long time, and you just refreshed my memory about that. What was that for people who are completely unfamiliar with this?
Well, actually, it came from the show How I Met Your Mother. We used to be big fans of that show and watch it all the time. When on the show they had a slap bet episode, and me and Zach thought it would be cool to do a slap bet, and the more slap bets we did, the more views we got on it, and I believe we did 4, if I'm not mistaken. I believe I lost every one of them. So,
that's hard to hear.
Well, it happens. Take your blows as they come, I guess. But.
Yeah. Any slap bets in the future, or are you kind of retired from the slap bet game?
We've never totally said that they're done. We've talked about it throughout the years. It's just schedules now working out to where we could get together.
Now, since you brought up the How I Met Your Mother, well, as many of the listeners may know, Brian Schmidt's competitor in the game, Brian Waitford Schmidt, is based on the Neil Patrick Harris character, Barney Stinson, from that. Do you
Right.
think? Do you think that we could see KSW bring Brian Schmidt into the slap bet?
I see no. If Brian Schmidt wants to come down and do a slap bet, he is more than welcome to stay at my house at any time. I have
If you
a I have a room with a bed for him. We'll fully air it, and I would love it. It'd be fun.
any plans, because I know you guys will travel to Gen Con, to maybe bring the slap bet to Gen Con?
Well, there was a at one point we wanted to do it there, but we never fully talked it out with Steve Risk, and we wasn't sure about the violence and if all that would
No,
affect the ratings of everything.
no, I understand that. Yeah, we'll just that's yeah. There's definitely been some sensitivity about that.
But yeah, it was definitely we were definitely talking about it in 2018 or 19, I don't remember, but it was definitely a big thing that we were talking about doing at Gen Con.
Speaking of Gen Con, do you have any plans to come back this year? I don't believe you were there last year.
I was not there this year because of COVID and everything and
Yeah.
all that. And like I said, KSW, we've all got our own separate careers, so time constraints are a big thing now. So it's kind of hard to just say something out of the blue. It would have to be planned in long term.
Oh, I
But
understand that.
I'm not saying it's totally out of the question. I really miss everybody, and the community is definitely the best I've ever been a part of for sure by any standard. Like I said, I played Pokemon, Hero Clicks, and all that, and this is the game I've held on to longer than ever. I listened to your podcast at work the other day, actually.
Thank you for listening. And since we're something else I want to bring up, because I don't know how many people know this, because it was a very limited run. I believe it was convention exclusive. You have your own competitor in the game. Chester the Jester is a competitor set you can play as in Super Show the game.
Yes,
How did
yeah, Chester the Jester, yeah.
how did that come about? How did you end up getting in the game?
Honestly, King Cold already had his competitor made, and he bought a spot in the Rumble one year and won. And instead of making another character, we wanted to get all of KSW made, and he chose me since I was next in line and decided to make my character.
What was how much input did you have in creating your competitor?
I would say 85% was all me. I wanted to be a lot more brutal. I was gonna say, in order to stop a card, you must bury a card. Therefore, if you only had one card in your hand, you could not stop a card. But the playtesting group at the time said that was too brutal, so that was the only part that was taken out. Other than that, everything was me.
So remind people again what your gimmick does.
When you stop a card, you must bury a card.
So the person so when the opponent stops, they bury, or when you stop, you bury.
When the opponent if the opponent stops a card, they must bury a card.
Yeah, that's that definitely can be a rough gimmick. Burial decks are always very strong.
Yeah, always a favorite of mine. I kind of leaned toward that in my play style.
Outside of yourself, what competitor do you like playing the most, or do you find yourself playing the
Ooh,
most?
I still love Rising Sun. Uh, Mercenator, I still think is just as brutal as any deck. JT Dunn was a big favorite of mine. I played him a lot. And Bravo, big fan of Bravo if you can get the right cards for him.
Yeah, Bravo, very versatile. All those very, very good competitors. I've never played I know I've never played Mercenary. I've played Dunn. I've played Bravo. My old tag partner used to was playing Grim Bravo at one point. Now that's not legal, but
Yeah. I would have to get an updated list on what's legal, and it's been so long since I played.
most pretty much just a couple things aren't legal anymore. The game has changed very little.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I know me and Greatness had a great tag team at uh Grand Gathering.
yeah,
Jigsaw and Aerial Lipstick, and it was ridiculous. Ended up getting beat by the eventual tag team champions, which I couldn't be happier for.
yeah. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Um, all right, but if we're gonna bring up Grand Gathering, we have to bring up that you are the winner of the first ever Grand Battle at Grand Gathering. What was that like, going through the Grand Battle and getting all the way to the top?
It was like I've won in big tournaments before that, but that one is definitely the most special to me, just because it wasn't like Gen Con where anybody could join. It wasn't like any convention where just anybody off the street could join. I beat the best in the game all the way through, and I wouldn't have done it without help at every table, but it was that one is definitely my number one. And it was just great because King Pink won his chance for the title. Greatness had a great match there. Like all of us did really well, and it was just a great weekend altogether.
Yeah, it is the Grand Gathering. The Legend of the Grand Gathering is one of the great stories of Super Show. It's been what now, 3 years, I think. It
Yeah,
doesn't
2019. Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but
yeah, I know.
with
Feel like
everything
I
going
can.
on, yeah, we haven't been able to get together.
Yeah, yeah,
But
it
yeah,
sucks, and like I said, I miss everybody. But man, that was a really great weekend.
yeah, that was a great weekend. Now you played Matt Riddle in that match.
I did, yeah.
Why did you decide to draft Matt Riddle?
Because I believe my top four choices had already been drafted. Like
Okay,
I had like the 60 something pick, I believe.
yeah. Why
Like
did
I was really low on the totem pole, and that was the only other deck I had built. And at the time, me and Greatness actually worked together. We were literally driving down the road, and he was reading me the characters left, and I just said Mount Riddle out loud, and he typed it in, and that's who I got drafted.
so that was just that wasn't anything you decided to do specifically for the battle. It's just a
No,
deck you
no,
had.
total. Just I literally was naming characters, and that was the first one he heard and typed it in, and that's what it went with.
That's funny that made it all the way up.
I
Now,
literally edited my deck, I believe, 20 minutes before the match.
yeah, that's kind of crazy, but just goes to show people that you know competitors that you are unlikely competitors can go far. I don't think anyone.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah,
the game it involves a dice roll, but like you, anybody can win at any time. But the great competitors, like the great people in this game, can make like John Polverino can play just about any character in this game and go far. I believe King Cole can play any. I mean, he made what championship with what was his name? I mean, nobody said to be the worst character in the game. I can't remember his name
was
now.
it Boy Howdy? A lot of people think Boy Howdy's one of
No,
the best characters
early
in the game.
character, real guy. Threw money a lot.
Threw money a lot. High
Yeah, one of the original real indie characters. Oh my god, I can't
Ken
remember.
Broadway.
Ken Broadway. Yeah, yeah, brought that all the way. I think the first time Polverino and King Cole.
So that was
Faced up.
the first Gen Con final that they faced in
Yeah, the first
each other?
Gen Con, that's what King Cole played with, and of course lost to Polverino with, I believe, Ultimate Warrior or something. I could be wrong on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it was Immortal Warrior. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was
Immortal Warrior.
it's Immortal Warrior, Belinda, and himself.
Yeah.
Those are the three, and then
And
Cold.
like I said, I'm not
Taking away from any of that, but like, I mean, John Polverino, I don't think you can argue I mean, my God.
Yeah, no, he's definitely one of the most accomplished players in the
He's
game.
done by himself what KSW has done altogether, just about.
Yeah, he's poised to. He's has the
if he
potential
could play a
to.
tag team by himself, he would do it.
Yeah, I've tried. They won't let me.
yeah.
But yeah, I have tried. I have signed up and been told no, you can't play by
Yeah, great
yourself.
player. I mean, Bob Dunn, Matt Nealon, Chris Pate, Ian, Steve Risk, Chad Gropak, all them guys, like, they always, like, we always, I guess, looked cool and calm when we were playing, but like those guys kind of made me nervous, if that makes sense, you know?
No, no, I get it. They're all tough competitors to beat. I mean, I've faced a number of them. I know I've played Polverino, I've played Pate, played Nealon.
I mean,
Kurt, all the Louisville guys were, like, for me, like, I thought I was better than them. I think the first time I played, I went like 4-1, and I was like, we're the best in the world. And then, like, I enter a tournament and just get mopped, and I'm like, these guys are legit, like. And I'm not trying to take away good players now. I've just been out of the game so long. I don't know who's playing and who's there. I'm just saying from my time playing, those guys really.
No, those guys are still some of them. I mean, Polka is still a great player.
oh,
Greg
of course, yeah.
Shockley
Yeah.
is still great. Jacob Maynard,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
I mean, Maynard's a
still top
genius. I mean,
guy. Yeah, I mean all those guys in Louisville. Uh, I haven't played Todd Brooks, but I mean he was the only person. No, I'm sorry, I'm getting him confused with Brian Johnston. I was gonna say
Yeah.
he's the only person to beat Kirk Polka versus his underworld during his underworld run, other than me.
right. And James Booker and all those Rustbelt guys, like,
For sure, all of them guys. Wow.
Oh yeah, there's talent all over the place in this game.
Like they are now what we thought we were 3 years ago. And I mean, James
I,
Booker,
don't show,
amazing.
don't sell your guys. Don't sell yourself short. You're still,
well, I'm not
you
selling
know,
ourselves short, but like
yeah.
we were early in the game, and like I said, them Louisville guys and the
Rust Belt guys, like all them took it to a different level. If that makes sense. Like we were, I'm not taking anything away. We were good then, but like if you try to play our decks now against the decks now, it wouldn't even be close unless we just rolled everybody, you know.
I don't know about that because I would say one thing about this game. I feel like, with a few exceptions, there's not a huge gap between cards 3-4 years ago and cards now. In general, I mean, I think some of the older 20 through 22 through 24s are just as good as the 22 through 24s now, the newer ones.
Yeah, I
I,
but
I
like
would
I'm talking about 2015 to 2016. You're talking about like draw
now,
one for
yeah,
if you
yeah,
have a
that,
follow up draw one. You know, like
yeah,
that's what I had in my
those,
deck when I won my title. You know,
yeah, those are definitely. You're right there. Yeah, definitely some of those early cards don't hold up as well. There are better options,
no, I mean minus the
but
press slam and the 718.
like those cards were game changing. Like that was like they blew my. I was like, how do they allow this in this game? Like that's broken. And then like I'm just grown with the game, and I was like, okay, they're not that bad. You know, like,
oh
But like
yeah,
when they first came out, it was you get hit with that. I mean, even to this day, you get hit with a 718. It's still brutal, but
yeah, it's just one of those things that things come and go because, yeah, I remember how huge those cards were when I started, and they don't get played that often. I think it's because the
Which
game
is,
has really
I
shifted.
still think they are some of the best cards in the game.
Well, I think it's a lot more conservative now. A lot of people, they don't want to give up that stop and take the risk.
Right.
Which, and actually, this is something that some of the Kentucky players actually have influenced me to be a little more aggressive in my builds.
Oh, yeah, I mean, King Pink,
I do think, yeah,
one of the
and I
most
think that's
aggressive players
strong.
ever.
Yeah,
Take it from a guy that's played him 110 times and probably won 4. You know,
yeah. Well, King Pink's one of the great champions in the
oh
game.
yeah, absolutely. If
Yeah.
not the, I mean, in my eyes, I mean, there's Polverino and then there's King Pink.
I mean, he's definitely in that conversation. I don't know who I'd put after Polverino. I think Polverino just, I mean, winning 3 Gen Cons in a row and having a long run at the as a world heavyweight champion and being this close to being the first ever Grand Slam champion.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's this week. If he wins the Underworld, he'll have been World, Underworld, Tag, Tornado Tag, and Trio. In
Yeah, I mean,
his playing life. I mean, that's amazing.
yeah, I mean, he's the Ric Flair of our game. Like,
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, when I first heard about him, I believe it was that first year King Cole played him in the championships, and I was like, I don't like this guy. Like, you can't be that good at everything, And like, he wins the championship, and like, I've never talked to him before this, never spoken a word to him, nothing. And he wins the championship, and I go over to shake his hand, and he's on the phone with his daughter, letting her know that he won the championship, and I was just like, I'm such an asshole, like, and
Oh,
I shake his
oh,
hand. I
oh,
shake his hand. I congratulate him. I'm like,
oh.
yeah.
You potty mouthed on my show.
oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
I gotta
I'm so
edit that.
sorry. I
We keep
apologize.
we keep it G here.
I know. I'm very sorry about that.
That's all right. Just gotta. But the beeps are coming back. I haven't had to do that. I haven't had to do beeps that much ever since I lost my broadcast partner. I haven't had to do beeps.
Well, I
No,
apologize.
actually, I take that. That's
It was
okay.
just old feelings coming
I
back.
get it. Look, just be glad we don't make you pay for bits on the show. There's no $5 fine.
Well, that's good.
You're in the clear.
Good. We,
Yeah.
the KSW
Bank's a little broke at this moment, so
That's fine. And actually, since I brought up bits, you've obviously been around long enough to see a lot of changes. What do you think of things like matches being broadcast on Twitch or people playing online? What do you think about that in the game? Do you like the change? Do
Oh,
you like
I love it.
this balance or this expansion to online play?
I think it brings
with what Twitch brought to every other game, I feel like they would be stupid if they didn't do it. Like, I mean, any viewers on there is worth something, and where you can broadcast, where I can play a guy in New York sitting in Kentucky or Ohio, wherever, and just it's really just bringing the best players against each other, not just waiting for Gen Con to hope they make it against each other, but
Yeah.
putting the best players against each other at any given moment, I think, is great for the game.
Since we talked about you playing on the internet and you being able to play people in New York, I have to bring it up because there is a degree of infamy surrounding the Russellville internet. How is the internet in your local area? Is it
It is a
is
joke that is running. We have the same internet that everybody else has, maybe better.
okay?
I have fiber optic right now. It's not. We're not a bunch of rednecks living in trailers. I promise.
I mean, right now, it's Brian Schmidt. I mentioned him again. Is the current reigning bad internet title holder. So Yeah, as far as I know, you guys are not in contention to take the title from him anytime soon.
No, I have a full gig fiber optic running through my house right now.
All right, well, that's good to hear.
We shouldn't lose connection anytime soon unless my
Yeah.
power goes out. So
I mean, so far everything's sounding great on this end. I'm hoping the recording comes out great, but I think it sounds great on my end as of right now.
Right. Yeah, it's great on my end. But man, I really just want to like this community is just amazing. Like it's rare that I play a game and like without this game I would never met anybody outside of Russellville, Kentucky. Like I never met him and like I hope new players are still playing with that. But what I'm trying to say is I want people to understand it's a game. Like a lot of people get upset, they want to go here, like they forget about the community and at large and start thinking about why didn't I get this? Why didn't I get that?
and when we were playing, it was more like I'm just happy. We were happy for everybody else, if that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
No, it absolutely makes sense. It's important, I think, for people to remember this is a game. It's designed to be fun when you play it.
Exactly.
And sort of keep that perspective in mind.
It is a super fun game.
Yeah.
And it was a game that I came about playing in a garage with my best friends who happened to be at the time.
We just lucked up to be some of the players that everybody remembers, and it's still surreal for people to say that. It's just, but like I need people to like remember it's a game. Like don't get upset. Like don't quit because you're not getting a quote unquote push that you think you deserve. Like it'll all come if you're a good player. It will get there. You know, if you're there, you will be there.
No, yeah, definitely. I agree with those things. I should ask you this. How surprised were you to find out that you'd been picked to join the Hall of Fame?
Oh my God. I actually work a weekend shift here in Kentucky, and I did not find out till 4:30 in the morning the next day when I was getting up for work. When the enforcer actually messaged me and said congratulations on the Hall of Fame, and I had no clue what he was talking about.
And I had to look it up on Facebook. I was in total shock and honored. Like
Honestly, I thought everybody had forgot about us, and like it was just I cannot put into words how much it meant. Honestly, like it meant so much to me just that they thought enough about us to put us in something like that.
Yeah, now, I know you didn't get to make a Hall of Fame speech, not being there. If you were able to make a Hall of Fame speech, what would you want to say?
You put me on the spot.
I mean, look, you're a Hall of Famer. You know you're gonna perform. I have confidence.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to pull out some pocket beers and slam them down and just say thank you to everybody that. Man, I mean, the Three Kings, of course, who was in there with me. Everybody that came to our little tournaments in Podunk, Kentucky. John Calais for sure for believing in us. Steve Rest for putting us in the position. Chad Gropek for making fun of us and riding along with it. Dave and Zach Bruno for being there at Gen Con 50. I mean, there's more names than I can announce, honestly. I mean, even the KSW Worldwide, I mean, Bobby O, Bob Dunn, Ian, like everybody, like without we lose one of those, none of us are Hall of Famers in my eyes.
All right. Is there anything else? you'd like to bring up? Any parting
Oh,
words for the audience?
parting words. Oh wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks to the
All right.
community. I mean, this is a great game.
It it made me a lot of friends that I would have made. I've said that earlier. Made me a lot of friends that I will hold forever. Gave me experiences that I never would have experienced. And I guess one and all, thank you, Steve Resk, for
Yep.
creating the game that I love still to this day.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm glad I had this interview with you, and I, I don't know when we'll be able to meet again. I don't know if there'll be another grand gathering or Gen Con in the future where we both happen to be together, but I look forward to it.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
look
I
forward
mean,
to seeing you again.
hopefully
You guys,
soon later.
yeah, you guys are just a great part of the community, and yeah, I wish more people get to know the legendary and the infamous KSW, and and one of its most important members, Sir Chester
Thank
the
you.
Jester, Mr. Phillip Armistead. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on the show.
Thank you.
All right, and with that being said, that's going to do it for this special episode of the Outlaw Mudcast. I'd like to thank all of you for listening, and good day.